Hi there, Dave Dubeau, and welcome to another episode of Canadian Profits TV. This week, with our business breakthroughs, we're going to be talking about tracking your numbers. For our real estate tips, we're going to be talking about another one of our profit centers, which is Cashflow. And for our mindset minute, we're going to be talking about stretching your comfort zone. So stay tuned. All right, so for this week's business breakthrough, we're going to be talking about tracking your numbers. And there are two very, very important numbers, business-wise and marketing-wise, that my mentor, Dan Kennedy, suggests we all track very, very closely. And the first is CPL. CPL, what does that stand for? Cost per lead. So let's say you do some marketing, some advertising, and you're doing lead generation advertising, which we teach you to do. You're trying to get people to put up their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in whatever product, service, or what have you have that you offer. It's going to cost you a certain amount of money to generate those leads. So let's say you get, for easy numbers, you get 5 leads, and it costs you $100 in marketing to get 5 people to put up their hand, call you, request information, what have you. So what would be your cost per lead? Well, it would be 100 divided by 5. So if my math isn't too bad, that would be $20 per lead. That would be your cost per lead. So it's very important to track that, and not just track it globally, but track it by which media you're using. So when I was doing the marketing for Darren Weeks and Fast Track and the How to Get Rich in Canada events, we had marketing all over the place, different newspapers, radio stations, TV in some case, postcards, flyers, you name it. We did all sorts of different things. I knew exactly how much each one of those media cost, and I tracked each one, the response, differently, so I could figure out exactly how much it cost per lead, per media. So this is a very, very powerful number. Okay, what else do we have? So we've got cost per lead. Well, a lead is great, but a lead hasn't necessarily bought anything. A lead has just said, I'm interested in what it is that you have to offer. The next number you have to track is your cost per sale, CPS, cost per sale. So let's say out of those 5 leads, we got 2 people to purchase, 2 people to buy something with us. So that would be 2. And it still costs us the $100 to generate those leads. So now, what's our cost per sale? We got 2 sales out of a $100 investment. So $100 divided by 2 gives us a cost of sale of $50 per sale. So these are a couple of numbers that you can be tracking in your business. Start thinking about it. There's other numbers that might be more applicable for you, but when it comes to sales and marketing, these are 2 of the most important ones. And that is your business breakthrough for this week. All right, so for this week's real estate tip, I want to talk about another profit center, and that is cash flow. So as you know, if you've read Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, as far as he's concerned, when it comes to real estate investing, it's all about the cash flow. I have to agree, it's very, very important. Our good friend Ken Beaton is all about the cash flow as well. It's tough to get really good cash flowing properties here in Canada the traditional way, but you should always try, that's for sure. Again, there are 6, perhaps even 7, depending on how you count them, different profit centers in real estate investing. Cash flow is one of them. And basically, for simplicity's sake, it means when you take all of your expenses for that particular property for a month, so obviously that's your mortgage expense, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, upkeep, property management, contingency fund, all of that stuff. When you take all of those expenses and you deduct that from the income that comes from the property, the difference, the positive difference, hopefully, is cash flow. So you've either got positive cash flow or negative cash flow. We always want to be going for positive cash flow. So again, in Canada, if you're doing traditional buy and hold, it's pretty tough to get more than, well, depending on how you do it, $75 to $150 per month per door positive cash flow. If you do things a little bit more creatively, like with lease options or rent to own, you can get as much as $1,000 a month per door in positive cash flow. We'll talk about those strategies at a different time. That's your real estate tip for this week. All right, this week's Mindset Minute, I want to talk about, well, could we call it success yoga? In other words, I'm talking about stretching your comfort zone. This is something that has really been drilled home very, very powerfully to me through my good friend and our good friend Darren Weeks with Fast Track. Darren's all about stretching your comfort zones, growing, doing things that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, moving out of that zone of lethargy where you're just kind of sitting around, you're comfortable, you're fat and lazy, some of us more than others, and you just don't feel like doing anything different. So I challenge you to figure out what is that thing that you're really fearing doing, that you're nervous about, that you know that if you did do it, could make a huge difference in your likelihood of success. Whatever that is, start moving towards it, start taking baby steps, but stretch your comfort zone. Do something that makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I can't remember who said it, but it's a very, very wise saying, and the saying is, you should do something every day that scares you a little bit. So I challenge you to do that and stretch your comfort zone. All right, and this week I'd like to answer a question from one of our Canadian Profits TV viewers. This question comes in from Brian. He says, "Hello Dave, as a real estate investor, what are your thoughts on this matter? My folks are selling their house and moving into a condo. I would like to buy their house and rent it out or do a lease option. What do you and Ken think of this idea?" Well, thanks for the question, Brian, and we'll be happy to send you out the special package, the bonus package that we're sending all the people that we answer their questions on the call to, so you'll be getting yours in the mail fairly soon. What does Ken think of this? I have no idea. Ken Beaton's not here right now, but I'll tell you what I think of this. I think it's a good idea if you're getting a good deal on the property. So here's the challenge. If you're buying a property from your parents, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your cousin, your children, whoever, chances are there's a lot of emotion tied up with that property. So you got to remember that you have to be very, very level-headed when it comes to an investment property. I don't care who's selling it to you, your parents or another family member or a friend. You need to make sure that you get the best deal you possibly can. So if you're going to try and buy it and hold it to do a traditional rental or buy and hold in a rental, then you need to get a really good price on that home. If you're doing a rent-to-own, then you're able to offer your parents a higher price. But what you might want to do is a little bit of research there and see if you can do a sandwich lease with your parents. That would be ideal. They get the price they want, you make money on the deal, you help another person get into a home that they otherwise wouldn't be able to. It's a win-win-win situation. So that's called sandwich lease. I can't explain that right now, but we'll be talking about that more on future episodes of Canadian Profits TV. Hope that helps. Talk to you soon. All right, that's it for this week's episode of Canadian Profits TV. Tune in next week, where for our business breakthroughs, we're going to be talking about positioning your company, especially when it comes to naming your company or your products or services. For our real estate tip, we're going to be talking about another myth, which is I need a bank to do real estate deals. That's definitely a myth. We'll be busting that next week. And for our Mindset Minute, we're going to be talking about how to use personal leverage, leveraging yourself to force yourself to take action. So look forward to that, and I'll talk to you next week.